to ban out, because they don't need to ban out Underlord themselves. They can leave that up to Evil Geniuses, which bans out Alchemist first, expected. EG banned out Ember Spirit as last one previous game. Is that something that OG would be looking to pick up, should it go through?
I think they should probably stick with Lone Druid ban again.
I agree. I think the Ember Spirit, I think we'll probably see EG. I don't know if they even want it. I don't know if they want to play versus the Underlord. Maybe they can leave both, the Ember and the Underlord, try to go for a trade-off. Since Luna doesn't seem to be having a bit. Okay, OG, even though their first pick, they get rid of it. They don't really, I guess they just don't want to. They didn't first pick it last time. They did pick it in like a dual combo, so I guess they do feel like there's a bit of a weakness in the hero, just grabbing that as a first pick rather than having two pickups for it. But EG, ban out the Lone Druid themselves. Now we have Ember.
You got Luna, you got Shadow Demon.
Ember and Earth Spirit, those two. Ember, Earth Spirit, Darkseer. I think those, to me.
Does that mean that you're leaving Shadow Demon, Luna in the pool, and is that not a problem?
You're okay with that. Probably.
All right, they are okay with that.
Ember first pick.
I don't know if they want to go with SD Luna. It just seems like
I think Earth Spirit, Darkseer. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
OG's turn to pick.
So 3 picks that we kind of expected to be grabbed up in the first phase, since the Shadow Demon Luna seems to be coming out of favor in this tournament. And EG's been very good at landing these Wombo combos. And Universe Darkseer, going back to just very comfortable hero for him, even though
10 seconds remaining.
He's had pretty good performances on everything that he's played.
Yeah, and it works a great combination with the Earth Spirit.
Remaining.
So it's just it's a solid comfort pickup.
Natural mech carrier, pressure,
Reserve
and
time.
lets his eye go for his own type of builds rather than I think that was the first game that we did see him go for the mech on the Chen, and it's the first game they did lose with the Chen, right?
Yeah, I want to say yes.
What next for OG? Do you think they could pick up one of the supports, like Dazzle or something like that? I'm not exactly sure what they're gonna go for here, just because Earth Spirit, Darkseer is not really like, straight counterable. So
Well, it depends. Do they want to go to teamfight route? We have seen OG favor the Warlock very highly lately. Not in this series so far, but they could go back for it, having some extra teamfight of themselves.
just seems slow, I feel like.
Okay.
I don't know. I also prefer a different save for the Ember Spirit. If you're going to go for something like that. Even Venge would be okay, I suppose.
Shadow Demon.
Demon's still there too. It's not as incredible, but as a save potential.
Yeah.
Fly does like to play it.
It just seems weak in the team fight. You have Ember and Shadow Demon versus Earth Spirit Darkseer. I think you're already at a huge disadvantage for team fights.
Oracle.
Oh.
Okay, I was thinking Oracle just because it's incredibly good versus the Darkseer Spirit, but it's been losing pretty much every single time it's been picked up in the past like month or so. It's actually lost, even though it's good at dealing with this type of aggression in the laning phase.
Previously, when it was picked up because Dazzle was banned out.
Yep. Or it's like it was picked up as well, like versus like the Bat Riders and stuff. If those type of heroes were removed, it was seen as that type of counter. But okay, OG goes for this type of approach versus the heavy pressure lane and EG not wanting to get cheese in the final game to ban out the Huskar since they already have so much magic damage between these two heroes. And
they might be scared of, they might be doing the Necrophos Oracle. I think that's one benefit of the Oracle that the Dazzle definitely does not have.
That is very true. That's with the new Ghost Shroud.
I don't know if anyone. I don't think they actually play Necrophos.
10 seconds remaining.
It's something to consider. It's a good frontliner, I would say, to deal with the ES Darkseer.
I'd say it's a no-tail hero,
5
right?
seconds
Something
remaining.
that he would. Seems like his type of style. It works well versus the Darkseer Spirit as well in the laning phase, since you don't have to deal with the Iron Shell. Bans. Do they want to get rid of the Nyx themselves? Probably. Even though I actually think EG can't really run it anymore. So maybe OG could want to. OG could probably go for the Nyx.
If they want to, they could. There's a lot of like, shouldn't they want to have some more extra team fight heroes potential for S4?
I think if they go for the Nyx, though, they won't have a mech carrier.
They won't have a mech.
Or a pipe carrier, which I think is a very big deal versus the Earth Spirit Darkseer.
Ban out the Void.
EG's turn to ban.
Who was asking about the Void earlier?
It would have to be a safe lane Void.
Safe lane Void, it would have had to be, yeah.
Just not something that you see every day.
Nope. Definitely not something that we have seen today.
10 seconds remaining.
All right. So what are we expecting to see here from EG? They're having their options open. Darkseer Spirit is already a great combination to have. What will make it even better?
Reserve time.
To work very well with, for example, the Darkseer mech timings. A hero that could come aligned at about the same time.
OG's
Hero that
turn
can
to
just get in
ban.
there.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what. Slark I would say is okay, but I don't really like it versus Ember Spirit. Too difficult to catch.
I picked Legion Commander earlier in the tournament, but it's decent lockdown for the Ember. But versus an
EG's
Oracle, can't
turn
really
to
win the
pick.
duel.
Legion Commander's been losing a lot too.
It's been losing Commander. That's what I like to call him.
Do you feel like they need more lockdown for that Ember Spirit? Because their Spirit is already very good against Ember, but do they need more?
I generally prefer
10
more,
seconds remaining.
especially with the Oracle to back them up. More AoE control is always welcome, I would say.
5 seconds remaining.
Disruptor for more Wombo combo, but I don't know if it's usually Crit that would play something like that rather than Zai.
Reserve time.
You mentioned support Nyx as an option. I think it's okay, but it's very greedy. Would
Very
give them
greedy.
Really good team fight though, and a way to deal with the Ember Spirit. Like you just have so much lockdown for him. Oracle is going to be hard pressed to always save him in the fights. But probably better to pick up a core now. What deals well with the Ember Spirit? We've seen Ember Spirit almost always go mid for OG, so I think that's one benefit that EG have in the draft. They kind of know where the Ember Spirit's going to go.
I'm really trying to think of our TZ heroes, since a lot of them have been removed. The Luna's not been having such success.
He's played a lot of Weaver. I think it's okay.
He's okay. Gets enabled a little bit by the Darkseer. There's already a lot of like stuff going on in the team fights with the Magnetize and with the Darkseer, so he's able to kind of just like weave in and out of the fights.
Is Sven an option?
No direct reason why they would
Why
grab it
is
that I
Sven
could see.
no longer picked up that often? You saw him all the time in the past.
I think he's still decent versus like the minus armors. I thought last game that it was a potential for OG
Yeah.
to go for the Sven pick, but he's just slow. There's not as many neutral camps
But you got
either.
a surge.
I think the reason that Sven was grabbed so much is just because of how much stacking was being done, and now since there's not so many neutrals, like Sven wants to be played at a huge. You want to be like at least like one item ahead of the other carry, so you can't really do that. And
And you
they,
wanna
okay, they
be
go
able
for
to
the
catch
Spirit
them.
Breaker
Turn to
instead,
pick.
so different type of catch, not the Nyx Assassin. Like we were kind of saying, this is much less greedy because the Spirit Breaker just can move around the lanes easier.
Yeah, way better in the dual lane.
Yeah.
For sure. It's very difficult to catch an Ember Spirit though with the Spirit Breaker, and that's one thing I really don't like about the Spirit Breaker versus the
10
Ember.
seconds
There's like
remaining.
many ways out of it. You can slight dodge the charge. You can
Chain
5
him,
chain him. You
seconds
can
remaining.
remnant
remnant
away
out.
too.
Yeah.
But
It is for the lane.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really good for
Reserve
the lane.
time.
And then it gives Earth Spirit some freedom to kind of like sit around the mid lane, play like as an actual 5 role.
So for OG, we mentioned like a hood carrier or mech
Yeah.
carrier
Yeah,
out
hood
in
or
the
mech.
front. Something like that would be pretty nice for them.
They go for the Miranda again. They have
EG's
decent amount of
turn
setup
to
for it
pick.
with the Fortune's End and with the Shackles coming up. But this is more likely a Jarax Miranda since they already have the Ember Spirit.
A lot of magical burst as well, so if someone else is going to build a veil, you're going to have some extra effect from that.
10 seconds remaining.
More lockdown for them as well, so
I'm a little surprised to see
5
from Miranda,
seconds
though.
remaining.
I was as well.
It's just strange.
It's not really a
Reserve
team fight
time.
when it's a support like that. It's
Yeah.
it secures lanes, perhaps?
They don't, like, the setup is not great for it. I think SD is by far the best setup.
Yeah.
And then the other heroes is like for example, a Darkseer Spirit Breaker lane don't care about a Mirana.
Yeah.
At
Like,
all.
At all. Like, you will just charge her and kill her. And the arrow setup doesn't matter because you can't actually kill them ever. So, I don't know. It just seems weird. I don't.
10 seconds
They could just run it
remaining.
mid and put no tail on the Ember Spirit.
That is, yeah, that's definitely still a possibility. All right, we've got the Sumail Invoker.
OG's turn to pick.
Lots of magical damage, but this is also a type of counter to the Ember Spirit if he decides to go for the one. Yeah, he could still definitely go for Exort, but Quashlux looks to be pretty strong versus Oracle and Ember Spirit right now.
I definitely agree.
10
The
seconds
thing about EG
remaining.
too is they were up against a lot of Ember Spirits before, but I think this is the first time that they've actually
5
picked up
seconds
Invoker.
remaining.
So, like, that's the thing. They don't always go for one counter versus the Ember Spirit. Other teams, like,
10
you see the Ember in the first phase,
seconds
they'll immediately respond with an Invoker in the first phase as well. But EG kind of
5
opening up their
seconds
options
remaining.
on how to deal with the Ember.
Leaving Arteezy's hero for
Sven
last as
stands
well.
ready.
Okay, OG
There
does go
is
for this one. There you go, Shibri.
EG
Got what you
is
wanted.
turn to
Well,
ban.
yeah, on a different team, but sure. I'll take it. Core Sven? No-tail Sven?
No tail Sven.
Yeah, no
The
tail Sven.
armor is not useful here at all.
No, it's not. I'm kind of curious as to this
10
one.
seconds
Both the Sven
remaining.
and the Mirana is strange. I don't know. It seems weird. I'm sure they have their reasons
OG's
for it, but I'm just
turn
not
to
really
ban.
grasping it at the moment.
I guess Sven is for the physical damage, right? To kind of have like that building hitter, since they're pretty magical oriented right now. It's the only reason that I could really think of why they would go for it, since, yeah, I think that's the only reason I can actually think of.
10 seconds
They usually
remaining.
go for like something like Terrorblade.
Terrorblade or something, yeah.
Maybe not favoring the illusion
5
so much
seconds
versus the
remaining.
Invoker and the DS.
You said you wanted some kind of more setup for the
OG's
Mirana,
turn
Sven
to
stun,
pick.
right,
That's
for the laning
definitely
phase. So that's probably maybe what
But it's
they're
a
going for.
melee lane versus Darkseer
Yeah.
Breaker. That also does not seem that
But
great.
there's the Oracle, right, to remove the Ion Shells. So
Yep.
it does give them a little bit more freedom. They go for banning the Slark, so they do think that it could still
10
be the RTZ
seconds
Slark.
remaining.
Since they're going for late game and Omni Knight last pick. So that's there. There you go. That's their
turn to
mech carrier.
Yep. How are they gonna lane this?
3-1.
3-1-1, yeah.
Okay.
Oracle,
Omni
Mirana,
off.
Sven. Yeah, Omni off. Maybe we'll see them help him out a little bit in the laning in the first few levels.
How to deal with Omni
10
Knight? You have one
seconds
pick
remaining.
and not very much reserve time left.
5 seconds
That
remaining.
is tough. Jug, I guess, is
Banned.
Oh.
Yep.
Jug's kind of
5
the
seconds
go-to.
remaining.
Weaver, I suppose.
Weaver, it had to be
Weaver,
Weaver.
yeah.
Weaver's the only one
I
left.
think, and Sven is pretty decent versus with the Warcry, but I think that was the only one that was really left for them. Not a whole lot, not a crazy amount of lockdown for the Weaver. All right,
It's time to redeem yourself, Fogged.
I'm not saying anything. 0% prediction rate
Okay,
so far.
I'm gonna make it easy for you. Hey Ben, which draft do you favor?
I like the Omni Knight. Omni Knight kind of came out of left field. I don't
Yep.
really think they expected it. They were also really low on reserve time and just don't have that much time to prepare for it in the draft or in the game.
So you're thinking it's gonna be a 3-1 for OG.
That is my prediction.
Okay, Fogg. Now, you know, do you agree or not?
I think
Is it gonna
Oracle
be
has been
5
losing
games?
a lot of games. I think this is going to be 5 games. Let's go, Ichi. Oh, God.
Okay. Well, another split panel it is. We're gonna find out, is OG gonna take this
10
championship,
seconds remaining.
or are we gonna have a game 5? Let's find out with OD Pixel and
5
Gods.
seconds remaining.
Thank you very much, Shiva. Indeed, OG versus Evil Geniuses again in this series. So far, we've had a lot of action, a lot of excitement. OG, of course, with the upper hand at the moment, standing 2-1. Gods, we've just seen the drafts. Again,
Prepare
it's been
for battle.
absolutely brilliant in terms of versatility that we're seeing from these two teams. Again, something a little bit different. I mean, this kind of lineup from OG, this Sven, back to, but not just an Oracle, but also an Omni Knight in the lineup, and it's S4 himself playing on the offlane.
Kind of back to like the classic OG, which is like, I mean, the no-tail Sven, but the defensive supports. This is something OG used to do a lot of, like the Dazzle with the Oracles, the Winter Wyverns. They've got an Omni with an Oracle. This is very defensive, very much trying to enable their cores. Probably see them maybe even sitting behind the mid lane a little bit to help out Anna if he's in some trouble. But it is going to be a tough matchup, Anna, and that's where the Oracle or possibly the Omni Knight will need to help out that lane a bit. Sorry, with that said, it is going to be the offlane Omni Knight support Mirana, but
30 seconds to
Mirana roaming around could pose a threat with the Syrian chain setup.
It's going to be interesting to watch as well, of course. Jarax on the Mirana, see what he can pull off in terms of plays. Also, obviously, over the side of EG, Carnage, aka Crit, on his signature Spirit. We'll see what he can get done in the early stages roaming around. Also, worth noticing, the rest of the members of EG Universe is on that beautiful little purple ball of brilliance. It's the Universe Darkseer, something that kind of a lot of people come to know as the hero that he's amazing at, but he apparently doesn't enjoy too much playing, Gods.
Yeah, it's funny how sometimes these heroes are just so good at your captain just wants to pick you. You know, you're down 2-1 in the grand finals, and imagine Crit's thinking like, yeah, Universe Dark, so this sounds good. He always comes up big on the hero, and I think for EG, it's like they've got the recipe for success. Universe on the Darkseer, Sumail in a winning matchup mid. Speaking of which, early roll's going to zone out Anna here. Doesn't really care that he misses a roll. He just wants to keep Ember away from the last hits here. He's losing the right-click battle, but support losing to a mid in a right-click battle isn't really a concern.
Already, we have, of course, the Mirana coming across and being like, "Look, I'll take the creep, thank you very much." Does get the large one, but they're looking to punish it, EG. They want to make sure that this Mirana gets sent a packing. Did put the level 1 point into the arrow,
But
so
with
no lead,
boots.
but yeah, they can't quite chase him down. He's too speedy, Jarax. He's out of there.
He knows he can make that play. The only way you get punished is if Earth Spirit has boots and Double Venom, and he can't have that roll in mid-lands, and this could be a first blood.
Oh, yeah, Anna falling low. Tornado to do it. Rhythm and Blues does it again.
Well,
Sumail.
he's had enough trouble dealing with Sumail alone. You throw a crit Earth Spirit into the mix, and that's a recipe for disaster for Earth Spirit. As Anna is back to where he left off in the previous games.
We'll see how this mid lane kind of ends up going on. Of course, we can expect Ember to certainly catch up in the mid game and this early stages for Anna to be difficult.
He's actually got decent CS. He's sitting on 6 CS already, so not too big of a problem if you can get that bottle up. And yeah, as you kind of were alluding to, his mid game is where he normally shines and does incredibly well.
Bottom lane, we're seeing T++, putting on the pressure to try and make sure that S4 can't get as much as he wants to from this off lane, top lane.
Arrow will follow this one.
Here we go, indeed, Crit could be in trouble. Jax surrounding him with Sven. In comes No-Tail with the Stormhammer, and bam, diddly wham.
I like that. Uses the leap and everything for the extra attack speed and movement. So making sure they get that kill.
1-1 at the moment. Let's see if they can make anything out of this, because there's a charge coming in onto S4. Arteezy moving into position. Purification will help out S4. The roll forward will be there. Doesn't quite connect. The smash. Ooh. S4 jukes out the ball to the side of it, but the last little bug flies through. Can't quite finish S4. Just surviving. Incredibly close.
Easy. Doing very well. Ooh, another charge.
Ah, he wants to go for it. T++.
Has the shrine. He should be fine.
Straight in the arrowhead. Oh, Crit beat him down before he could touch upon the shrine.
Get the shrine, someone.
Finally, we'll get it. In fact, the two of them maybe have to bring down Crit, Jerax, and Anna. Looking to chase down the Earth Spirit. Crit, has he got any ways of getting out? He will have the rolling boulder. Back off in a second, but an arrow, that's the stun, that's all that they needed. Tried to juke it. A kick from the dead to knock Anna away, but it is the kill for OG as they pick it up there down towards the bottom.
I think S4 could have popped the shrine, but he was being the team player and waiting for the Mirana to come in, since Mirana also needed that shrine. And unfortunately led to S4 dying, but they did get the return kill going the way of Ember Spirit to make up for things.
Looks like we're going to have Jerax again, maybe moving into position to see if he can set up something on the mid lane. It's a lane that they would absolutely love to get something done against this Invoker. Quick tornado.
He saves the flame guard for post-tornado.
And this is smart, but at the same time it's hard for them to do anything because Crit, again, he's there, rolls in, boulder smash onto 2, Crit. What a player, what a man, what a boulder, what a rock.
Yeah, he was pseudo-baiting, waiting for the Mirana arrow, but Crit was there, head of the game. And he's hit another roll and another punish into this mid lane. Even the Oracle was converging, trying to use perhaps a Fortune's End to set up that arrow. But
worth noting as well, down on the bottom lane, Mr. Artur managed to take down S4.
It's a nifty one to get.
It certainly is.
Having a pretty good time. Sven is still in that free farm status though, top of the CS.
I can hear the choo-choo. Where's the choo-choo? There
Mid
it is in the mid
lane.
lane.
Where else?
Again, yeah, Anna being focused. Good chains, holds back the cow in time. The arrow will come in from the backlines from Jarek. Stunning T++ underneath the tower, but still, EG move in, take down Anna. Purification from S4, make sure that they can get a return kill. Indeed, with the control here from Toshi, they jump in, find a second, and now Crit. He's a rock, he's a lonely one as well. Earth Spirit being chased down. Can he play his way out of this one? He does have one rolling boulder. He's going to kick S4 out of the way, and he will try and roll, but just in time fly, able to block it. I mean, Chris making them work for it. There is a cow on delivery coming in, but it's not going to be in time, as they will lose Crit here. EG, do they still want to fight? Yes, they do. Straight away, Zai comes in. Can he get the bash? Yes, he can. Bash is down, fly. The shrine will be popped. They've moved in with Sumail as well, but there's backup coming in from the side of OG. The cow's in too deep. They'll hold him in place with the searing chains. At the same time, No-Tail's come in. He's focusing down the Invoker. He's already used the first stun. He isn't going to have the further control to bring him down. And in fact, well, the cow survived. T++ Zai charged out to the side.
Charged to a neutral, I believe. May reveal there's a ward there. And S4 is still chasing, but won't catch up to him. Very aggressive play. I feel like EG's like, all right, our initial, we lost 2 or 3, but let's go again.
Look at this, No-Tail. He's sticking around the mid lane, and with the God Strength, one more shot will bring him down. In fact, they can just look for Crit as well. No-Tail, can he get the damage through? No, he can't. Crit's out with the roll away, but they get the kill that they were looking for there, bringing down Sumail.
No-Tail playing that so well with Jerax. He gets the stun off from behind. Jerax makes sure he doesn't get caught by the tornado to get the arrow, and then he sidesteps the boulder smash, making sure they dodge the necessary spells.
Arteezy again putting S4 in a lot of difficulties here. getting away with making these plays, and it doesn't seem that OG have the control or the resources to just hold back this Weaver's aggressiveness.
Yeah, TZ's just having his way on this bottom lane. He managed to get the tower down to half HP while diving past it and getting kills. Very useful for EG, who aren't having the best results in this mid lane. Despite getting those first couple of kills, OG have really prioritized and turned things around with No Tail's appearance, and we'll see how things continue if there's going to be a more constant stream of aggression. Sumail's looking fairly underleveled after all the couple of deaths, as well as the fact he's had to share the XP since his supports have spent so much time. They're only just now hitting level 7.
Look at this. I mean, just with this Blightstone, he's really punching into Jarex. In fact, with the bugs on him, Jarex could be in trouble, and indeed he is. Arteezy getting away with getting this kill, and he's not done yet. He's looking towards the Oracle fly. He's trying to fly away. Can he make it? Oh,
this Ember better not get spotted. Oh, okay. Oh, that was very close.
Yeah, I know.
He really wants his level 6. I mean, speaking of Sumail being a little bit underleveled, Ember, he's like the king of underleveled swords.
Top lane, EG moving on to another, charging through, getting No Tail. Starstorm will come through for Jarex, bringing the members of EG down low. Purified. S4 brings down Zai. Gonna get the kill here, repelling himself. S4 ready to move forward. Jarex chasing down as well. Crit holds back the Mirana with a boulder smash, allowing Rhythm of Blues to come in. The combination of the two there, because Crit knew how to rock.
This is very different from last game. Last game this is like how many kills we had at 35 minutes in last game. Both teams just want to keep on fighting, keep on brawling. The Iron Shell on the Earth Spirit, on the Darkseer and the Spirit Breaker just being used for a constant stream of EG tower dives, and Arteezy's just doing his own thing on the other side of the map, going for dive after dive of his own.
Oh, I hear a charge. I see a charge. The question is, what's the answer from Anna? Yes, there it is. Tie the cow down. After James walks it off, he's going to be A-OK. 10-7 at the moment. Net worth, it is looking good for EG. Overall 3K lead. Not the biggest, but with the kind of the franticness and the amount of fighting, as you said, we've seen 8.5 minutes in. It's, you know, EG's feeling the momentum in this early laning stage.
That's the thing, we're 8 minutes in. That's a sizable lead for this early on in the game. Weaver has really skyrocketed his farm through the kills he's been getting. He's 3-0-1. I feel like 3 of those 4 kills are solo kills. And he's also going to be able to perhaps start pressuring this tower. No one hero can really go lane against the Weaver, which means you basically have to give up this tower, or you have to commit multiple heroes down there, which doesn't really seem like a worthwhile use of your time if you're OG. You're not killing the Weaver. You haven't got the necessary lockdown for that, so this bottom lane just feels like a bit of a lost cause almost.
I still I don't know how they're going to kill it. I mean, they kind of come in and then they come back out.
Yeah, they better run. You know, they might just die here if they're not careful.
It's very close to. S4 only getting himself away because of the Moonlight Shadow. I mean, Arteezy is getting away with pretty much murder on this bottom lane. They are going to bring Anna in, trying to look for him. At the same time, top lane, Earth Spirit. Got to get out of this one. No, he can't. The Purifying Flames nuke enough to bring him down. So Carnage, Crit, getting a little bit too aggressive on that top lane.
Watching Arteezy and what he's been doing. Didn't see exactly what happened there, but he's now going to TP top. Looks like they want to get a key kill on the Sven, who's the most farmed here in the game, but they'll find an Oracle instead for now.
Fly. He will try and heal himself up. It's not going to be enough to save him. Loses his life, and in fact, EG, they're ready to dive straight away. Crits in with the boulder smash to the back. No Tail in trouble. 4 members of EG surrounding him. S4 will be brought in with the purification and the stun. No, can't hold Arteezy still in place for long enough. The bash comes through. They take down the Rogue Knight, and they'll also take down the Omni Knight. 2 more dying on this top lane. And in fact, Crit Knight not be done. He's got 4 rocks. He's got the spells. He's not going to do it. Offers a bit of mercy there to Jarex. The rest of his team do take down the tier 1. Sumail, though, he is not a man of mercy. He sees a kill. He wants to go for it. He'll have to back up now that Fly comes across. Immediately drops down a sentry. Forces Invoker to back away.
Another charge.
Yeah, going in onto the mid lane. Sumail, a little low on the mana, so we'll see what he can offer. And, well, it's not going to be anything, because the fight's not going to happen. Holding back there on the Cow's Eye. Doesn't want to dive too deep. He's been chained up too many times to know that it's not worth getting too close to that Ember Spirit. Unless he's, I guess when he's level 6, he's able to kind of hold back and initiate with a Nether Strike. That might be pretty much the only way he can get around Anna holding him back every time he goes close.
It's really hard for OG to take fights to get back into this game because of the Quaswex Invoker. Flame Guard as well as the Sven's mana pool just gets immediately depleted, and that's like their two key frontline fighting heroes that they're relying on that just get immediately dealt with. It feels like they're also just lacking a bit in levels. Like we haven't got the max searing chains, the Omni's only level 6. OG needs some breathing room, and EG is not giving them that.
There we go. OG getting charged upon. Actually going to hold back it. S4 on the front lines of it all. Arteezy.
Jesus, so strong right now with his Dragon Lance, has 1100 HP this early on in the game, and he can just go chase and dive into anything. Unless there's like a perfect Searing Chains, 5-second arrow type combo, he's damn near invincible.
Notel has moved across. Maybe seeing if they could catch out any of the members of EG with that Moonlight Shadow, but it wasn't going to be the case.
Seems they were wary of things. 5 heroes go missing from the map, and possibly even seeing their invis up top. So they wait till they catch vision of a few heroes. Now they're going to be back to the lane, taking out this tier 1 tower.
Tornado to set things up. Arteezy moving into position on the back of it. Again, these boulder smashes from Crit. Hitting 2. They get the Storm Hammer out, but Notel's got to tuck his tail and run here. EG, Artor and the boys ready to chase him for more. There'll be a false promise keeping Notel alive for the time being, but Fly being focused by Arteezy. The heals, it's not going to be enough to save the Sven. He's down through the midst of it all. Anna came in, but he's immediately silenced into the colds now. He's got nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Fly tries to come back in to save him, but he goes down. And Fly will be able to juke out the Tornado. Can Jerax pick up anything off the back of this? The arrow not going to connect, and even if it did, do they have the detection? They don't, so Samael should be all right.
Oh, Fly Dallas has got the sentries.
That's easy.
Won't have the damage.
And they're out. So once again, EG just charging quite literally with a Spirit Breaker in the backup into the clutches of OG and getting away with it.
I feel like Arteezy can just rush a Desolator and then start two-shotting supports and
I'm sure
tearing apart the Ember Spirit. Doesn't really feel like he needs to go for a defensive Linken's. He's tanky enough thanks to the Dragon Lance Aquila. Goes for the Diffusal. Interesting choice. Can't purge off the Repel anymore. Does work against the Guardian Angel, as well as the Warcry. So yeah, being able to take off the Warcry is pretty damn nice. Will be an interesting line. I mean, there's a lot of spells you can dispel here. Fate's Edict, another annoying one. The Flame Guard, so definitely a lot of merits in this Diffusal pickup.
Time to group up and go again from EG. All 5 members looking towards this mid lane. 3 on the front, 2 just behind. Trying to bring down this tier 1. OG will look to form a defense.
Importantly, they've got the mech too. The sustain is there. They've got tanky frontliners, and the mech is just going to make things very difficult. And this Sven is just not really fight ready. The Mask of Madness is nice and all, but you don't have a easy way to initiate for a fight. There's like Sleight of Fist Searing Chains, ideally, with an arrow follow-up, but not a reliable way for the fight to begin.
Tornado, where's your Flame Guard, mate? It's not there anymore. The false promise comes through. It needs to. They've got to keep Anna alive. Should be able to heal him up enough.
I think he might be.
The heals are too strong. He's good, but the fight is not over yet. The charge comes through, immediately looking towards the Omni Knight. Crit with the control onto the 2 of the Mirana and Sven being held back. They found one. Can they get themselves anything more? Looking to chase down Anna. Anna goes into the cover of Moonlight Shadow. They don't have any detection here, but now Moonlight's worn off. OG have to back up, get themselves away. And again, another tower, another kill, another day in the office for EG.
Just finding picks, turning them into objectives. They're forcing OG to be grouped as 5 when OG really just want to try and find some catch-up time. They're a bit under-leveled, don't have the farm, the items. They don't have a mech of their own. Omni Knight working on one, but he's much further away than he'd like to be. Meanwhile, Universe is closing in on a very early Guardian Breeze.
Oh. Hello. Can they do this? Can they do this? Can he time lapse? No, he can't. He's already used it. That's a big kill. A very big kill. Beautiful, beautiful pick off there for OG to find.
Not the ideal hero to get the last hit in the Mirana, but Jerks will be looking to build up into the Aghanim Scepter and transition himself into a bit of a core hero, I imagine. And it's time where you're not worried about the Weaver running at you and just tearing you apart.
And did Arteezy manage to spend up? Interesting. He's not going for that though, so yeah. He's going for the defusal this game. Interesting to see. I mean, yeah, as you mentioned, Joe, because of the war crime and such. Still definitely reasons for it to be picked up. And especially against like kind of Oracle saves and such. And well, I guess the disarming doesn't really help you against that.
You can,
but the damage is
you can. Oh, you can't self.
You can't self
yeah,
purge.
of course.
Yeah.
If you
can't self purge.
that makes sense. Of course.
Good old 7. Smoke up time from EG. What can they find? Let's see if Anna likes his beef smoked. Oh, Nether Strike brings it back. There's the silence again, but immediately Fly's there with the reaction. False Promise should keep Anna safe enough, but Fly pays with his life. Will save the Ember Spirit from that smoke movement.
That's support life, you know. Fly's been doing this for years with every OG edition, whether it's Avenge, the Oracle, dying for the cause. He knows it all too well.
Choo-choo, ready for more. Zai consistently seeing openings and going for them. The arrow will fly back. It's blocked by the creep. Good old Creepy doing it for EG. Fly, Anna. He has not got Fly by his side now. He's trying to fight this. If he gets bashed, he won't. He will be fine. Fly is now back. Still, Arteezy looking towards the Mirana. Charge through again. The Sunstrike in the midst of it all, bringing them down low. Arteezy diving. He'll take one. He's still got the time now, so he can afford to make these sort of plays. Won't bring down Fly, but he gets the Jarek skill. Now they're out. Crit rolls away. Anna didn't quite have the
Dire's
mana.
middle tower is under attack.
OG just snowballing very, very hard and fast right now. OG need to find some way to stop this EG momentum, but they're good at like saving a core hero, but then the hero they save always leads to someone else dying, as we saw. The Oracle dies there, the Mirana then ends up dying to try and help out the Ember Spirit. If EG don't kill the target they initially go on because of a repel or a heal or a false promise, they immediately say, okay, screw it, find the next hero. Even if it's support, we'll take it. Then we'll just take a tower or do some damage. OG aren't finding kills. They're just kind of keeping cores alive for a little bit longer. They need some overall trajectory for their lineup. It's going to come perhaps like with Sven getting a BKB.
For sure, yeah.
Even a Blink Dagger maybe, but
A lot's on this Sven, it feels. A lot is on no tap.
we're going to reach this point where there's enough items on EG that they might just be able to deal with the Sven. Having like the Greaves for the extra armor. They're going to have a lot of utility. Nether Strike can go through the BKB. Darkseid's got a Blink Dagger as well, so the Vacuum Wall combo is going to be very potent.
Oh, the universe. All right, look at that net worth. It's absolutely perfect for the 3 cores of EG. I mean, is the best way for OG to catch up through just simply trying to out-farm them, or do OG need to aggressively look to make plays to kind of regain their control over EG in this very important game?
Outfarming EG just isn't possible. They have less map to farm. There's aggressive EG wards that they've got to expect to exist, so they're never going to be able to win by just sheer farm. They're going to have to find pickoffs. They need to use their smokes to find some kills here and there. They need to pull themselves back in this game by meeting, at least not necessarily meeting the 5-man of EG, but trying to find and isolate heroes that aren't with the rest of the team.
Dire's
When EG are
bottom
5-manning,
tower
you
is
play the
under
split
attack.
push game. When EG are defending the split push, you go for the pickoffs. Well, they Moonlight Shadowed on top of Radiant Vision, so EG should be very ready for this.
Yep, they pop down and protect Amateur Sentry on this bottom lane as well. Just in case they may even have the chance to find into it. They scan, they know exactly where OG is. That's easy. Looking to settle across. They think of the good vision around just in case the
Radiant's
fight does
top
kick off
tower is
around
under
this position. Anna.
This is
Rare miss there from Crit, and in fact, there's an opening onto the Weaver. They try and make it go forward, but the time lapse is out. Arteezy's fine. Gets the bugs out onto 2. Anna is out of mana. There's the vacuum into the wall, but again, Flies there with a save. False promise to buy Anna the time to maybe get himself out. Does Remnant down? Remnant's out. Remnant's in. Anna will survive.
No casualties. That's all right for OG, although may not be in a position to defend this tower anymore if EG want to force things. But EG's recognized and respecting that OG came back as a unit. They want to go split up, use what farm and resources are available to them on the map. They've got the Invoker Midas, so playing the farm game works fine. Darkseid in jungle, Weaver is farming a lot. This is a pace that is fine for EG, even if they don't get that tier 2 bottom tower any kills.
Oh, mid lane. Anna. It's going to be fine by the looks of it. Did manage to juke out the Tornado. Has to be very careful. I mean, we're just seeing it each and every time crit. Just dropping down the silences onto Ana.
All it's going to take is one big fight. The Ember Spirit now has the level 2 Fire Remnants, dishes out some pretty good damage with the Spell Amp and the Veil. Definitely have to respect potential team fight from OG, and if I want to say No-Tail's likely to go for the blink before BKB, just wants to be able to blink in, stun someone, follow it with an arrow, and then burst them down using the Veil Ember Spirit. If you can get like a couple Fire Remnants on a key hero like an Invoker or a Darkseer, bring them down at the start of the fight, it can go a long way for OG, just getting any single pick off. Even if you have to blow multiple ultimates for that one kill, it can be well worth it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Group up from EG. Ready to go for another play. They've got their eyes on No-Tail. The charge leading forward. There we have the initiation, slowing him down with the diffusal to set up into the Nether Strike. Where's the save? There isn't any. They couldn't get anyone there in time. Fly just a little bit too far away to save No-Tail. So that's the Sven down for 40 seconds, and EG off the back of that should be able to take a tier 2 at the least.
Don't imagine this one can be defended too easily. The Alacrity even coming out to speed things up, and yeah, I think Emma making the right call. Heads up top. As soon as you see EG group up as 5, it's you split push the side lanes. You got to just delay defending for as long as possible and try and force EG back through your split push, which is exactly what is going to happen with the Invoker TP. But
middle tower has fallen.
EG get the tier 2 tower regardless. They fall back and can go for Roshan if they want to.
Yeah, they certainly can. And they go, EG, OG, any way of contesting it? That's the question. And Jerax, relatively close to that big pickup of the Aghanims, which is absolutely crucial for this stage of the game. They're going to use the Moonlight.
Spotted again, that Radiant Ward.
They know what's going on.
Arrow will scout out, but it'll catch the Forward Spirit, and again, I just don't think they can go in. They don't have that blink yet on the Sven, and they lack the initiation. He picks it up now, and it will be too late to stop the Roach from happening.
Yeah, it's easy with that Aegis in hand. And very close to having Desolator done on top of that diffusion blade. 23 minutes in. EG's core still taking those pole positions on the net worth board. No-Tail getting very, very close. I mean, as well, Ana's not that far behind.
Still have to show a lot of respect for the 5-man potential of the OG draft, even more so when defending high ground. The ability to enable their cores, the Sven specifically using the repel, as well as the potential false promise to keep them alive even longer. The Sven can dish out a lot of damage in a short amount of time.
Sumail passing out the tornado. Oh, hello. He comes in with a good stun, No-Tail, but again, the damage is not quite enough. The vacuum wall onto 4 OG. They've got to be careful how they take this fight. The GA's out. Ain't going to protect you from a big flaming ball of hellfire raining down from the skies as Sumail summons it out. No-Tail does jump back in. They are able to, in fact, take down the Magician. That's going to be Sumail out. Can they get anything more out of this, though? The crit magnetized causing issues for OG, but they still prevail. Moving forward. RTZ falling very low, not quite low enough. A crit boulder to the face as Crit pulls down onto the Ember Spirit, rolls himself away from No-Tail. In goes Zai with the bashes. The repels there on No-Tail. Can he actually find the kills? Crit with the jukes. Can he juke his way out of this one? It looks like he's going to survive. Universe pops the Greaves, keeps his team in healthy positions, and now they're moving forward for more. Charge onto S4. The right clicks coming through from both the Darkseer and the Weaver to bring down a third, and there's the fourth. They'll lose the cow, but 4 of them down and out on OG. EG again playing these aggressive fights perfectly. And 25 minutes in, they're bringing down a tier 3.
The Sven just struggled so much to finish heroes off. That Guardian Greaves aura giving so much bonus armor to the Earth Spirit when he was low. Universe and Arteezy both getting all that extra regen as well as the extra armor. And possibly getting this melee racks. They've only got a little bit of a window here. The respawn's coming in.
OG. Can they get the kill? Jumping from Ana. There's the time lapse, but he's lapsing back to health that he never had.
They've got a Searing Chains.
It would be a massive kill if they could get it. There's going to be Crit trying to bail out Arteezy, but the arrow connects. Universe, he jumps in. Arteezy's still alive. He's going to get himself. Oh, no, he's not. The slide of fist. Ana will be able to claim the kill, and now he's jumping in for more. Do they have the detection? They've got the dust, and they should be able to find Sumail as well here as they chase down the Invoker, bringing him down as well. They keep the racks alive. They take down 2 at the big old cores of EG. OG holding on.
That's a 2k gold swing just from those 2 carries. It's still a fantastic position from EG to be in. They just get a little bit cocky at the end there. Arteezy overstaying his welcome. If you wasn't really that close seeing the melee racks with the respawns, and they're not only going to get those two core kills, but they turn it into a tower. Notel happy to pop the ultimate just to take what towers they can at this stage of the game, and suddenly that's a couple thousand gold going his way, halfway to his BKB, and it's like for OG, it's just that confidence boost. It's like, okay, we can win a fight, we can kill this cause. Arteezy no longer has an Aegis to deal with. And things may progress very differently. He's also chewed through all his defusal charges. The constant use against the Warcry and just using it very aggressively means he's going to rebuy the recipe next, but you get to that late game not having those defusal charges, suddenly that Warcry is once again going to be a big problem.
Yeah, absolutely. EG's got to be careful going for pushes like that. Giving away those big kills.
So you see what the Sven can do then. The false promise is so nice with the blink dagger on the Sven, because it means mid-fight with God Strength on, if you false promise him, even if he's not really dying, it just means he gets that next blink off, despite the fact he's getting maybe right-clicked or he's got a beetle on him or something, because you're not taking any damage. That extra blink usage really helps Sven's mobility problems. He's not getting kited as badly. And Ember's got a Maelstrom now, so even easier high ground defense in some ways with this item, but that's assuming he doesn't get caught out.
OG. Looks like they are aware that there's 5 off the map. They're right back up to their fountain. They didn't have a ward around here, but just reading the fact that none of these lanes are being dealt with.
The fact they have those 2 wards and they see nothing reveals a lot. It's like, okay, no one's farming over there in the jungle. No one's farming either Radiant jungle. Where is EG? Yeah, they're probably coming at us with a smoke.
And now they're getting used for the jump back. Moonlight Shadow.
Again, it's on an observer ward there.
Aye, aye, aye. Yeah, eyes are everywhere from EG.
EG's vision this game is very impressive. OG even decide against it. They're like, wait, that tower's kind of dead. We've still got 1 tier 2 remaining, so we're not going to be losing total map control and total shrine access, but OG will be pulled back to their base.
Something needs to do something with this Desolator, of course. Arteezy. Let's bring down the buildings quickly. That's the plan here. It looks like it is actually just going to be to back up from EG. Kind of content with forcing OG back as a full 5-man, opening up the map, and they'll just lay it off. But OG to kind of move out here, see if they could catch anyone on the way out. Underneath this ward though, EG, they are prone to turn and fight if OG do come down here.
Yeah, with how much EG have kept this bottom lane area pushed out, they've got great vision around both mid and bottom. Darkside's prioritized having sentries and vision in their own jungle up top, but for now that vision isn't helping them. It may help them in the future though, because very likely EG are going to be eyeing off that last tier 2 tower, and that's where OG have set themselves up to defend that one through the vision that they've put up.
I kind of like, you know, Crit, he caught the arrow there, but I want to think it was a smart play. So now they don't think there's a ward there. They're like, what? He got hit by an arrow. He didn't see the arrow coming in. Crit's like,
mind games. Yeah.
That's some, you know, top tier 1 mind games there from the pro players. Catch an arrow, save a ward. Well, OG. EG again, back on the defense, just sticks to the base.
Yeah, EG just don't want to give up this position right by the dire secret shop. It prevents anyone really moving out of the base. It means if anyone pushes out top or mid, you just go threaten the high ground, it pulls them back. Will be a charge to follow the Ember.
Oh, hello.
Where's your Ember?
There's your silence, where's your cold sound? Can he play? Oh, he's fine. He's good.
The 1 charges and gets out of there. Sunstrike, not going to come too close to landing. I don't think it would have had the damage for it as well. But yeah, so Mirana's now truly a core hero. It's feeling more like that.
Yeah, Jax is up there.
Yeah, you know, like off-lane type Mirana with the amount of farm we're seeing on Jax. He's up to 10k. Definitely a hero that needs more farm as time goes on, more so than the Omni. Omni's all about that utility factor. He's got the Greaves. We'll go into a Blink for that easier repel positioning. Being able to make sure he can get the repel on like a Sven before Sven gets hit by an EMP can help a lot. And interestingly, it's going to be a Linken's build for the Sven. Can block that defusal so he keeps his Warcry. Block a Nether Strike as well could be very handy.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, much more useful Linken's game this one than the last one we saw the Linken's. How are OG going to defend top now is the big question. They have that vision. They are going to Moonlight Shadow again.
Dire's
This
top
time,
tower
Radiant
is under
Observer
attack.
do not spot it.
Dire's structures
I think they
are
may have
fortified.
seen underneath the tower though.
They saw that TP coming in.
Yeah,
Now they know something's up.
They're aware of the shenanigans.
Oh, he
that
flicked forward. Misses the silencer.
Oh, Dukes. Oh, hello. That's a beautiful Storm Hammer with the Starstorm. Bring them down low. RTZ does get the chance to time lapse out. Looking for the Nether Strike. There's going to be the charge through onto the back lines. Vacuum Wall onto 2. They'll look towards S4. S4, the beautiful Boulder Smash from Crit once again. Deafening Blast flies through. EG, they've found 2. Double kill for Riverman Blues. They'll chase down for Notel. He gets the blink off in time. Crit, he's hunting for the Sven. Won't quite find him. Notel escapes. They get themselves 2 kills.
Dire's top tower is
Breaking
under
down
attack.
the side of OG.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
EG
attack.
claimed the
Dire's
tier
top
2
tower
and
has fallen.
maybe
That's-
ready to move in for more.
That's a perfect initiation from Notel. They didn't have the mana on Mirana to go for an arrow. Went for the double Starstorm instead. If they had the arrow to follow up that Stormbolt, it could have been a very different fight. That could have been a
Radiant's
dead Weaver.
bottom tower is under attack.
Possibly like a dead
Radiant's
Invoker
bottom
or
tower
something.
is
As long as they
fallen.
kill one hero with that Sven initiation, that fight goes a lot better for OG, but without the arrow follow-up, they just didn't have the lockdown to prevent a time lapse.
EG back to just taking objectives. They don't want to play around with a high ground push. You know, they've seen before, it doesn't always go that easily.
Dire's
So they take
top
the
tower
shrine
is
away.
under attack.
Look towards Roshan. It is back up in a few seconds. So we'll see if they get their eyes on that, their control as well. They can take it down very, very fast indeed with the lineup that they have with this damage coming out from the Weaver and the Invoker. 28 to 15, the lead's still there. Overall net worth, it's kind of just hovered around this point, 7,500. OG definitely, you know, one solid team fight, and they can swing it right back down to 0.
Yeah, I think EG well aware of that. What kind of a team fight EG have to be going up against. Likely see them positioned to take the next Roche now that it's back up. Perhaps waiting for just the next couple of items to come out now. They're very close to a pipe as well. This will block some of that Mirana and Ember magic damage. Without like, OG is so reliant on like landing every spell and maximizing their damage output on whoever gets hit by that Stormbolt that a pipe could be like all the difference you need to keep someone alive from a double Starstorm.
And they notice Roche back up. Arteezy ready to start giving it a go. And we'll see if OG do anything about this, or if they even realize that it's going on. At the moment, they're fairly split up across the map, so it looks unlikely, Gods. I mean, Arteezy's being careful about how he goes about this.
They're playing with very limited vision, and moving out aggressive on the map is a big challenge for them, but they're still going to go for it. Well, by go for it, I mean scout it at least. An arrow is available for scouting purposes and spots. No one in the pit, but we'll see Roshan at least taking a bit of damage there, so it gives a general idea of some presence around that area. Problem is, no one's pushing out mid, no one's pushing out top, and both lanes very close to the Dire base, which is a bit of a telltale sign of OG trying to prevent that Roche from happening. But I do like that they've managed to take out a lot of the Radiant vision now. It does feel like EG aren't as privy to what's going on anymore.
And there we
Ice
go.
Force.
Motel looking to kick things off. The change coming through. Universe actually using the vacuum there. Didn't clip
Kited
anyone.
so badly though.
There's the jump in crit, silencing the Omni Knight. There's a charge coming through as well, but Omni gets the chance for the GA. Team being backed up, and comes Anna once more. The Nether Strike from Zai, not enough. Zai to fall. Arteezy manning up against Notel will finish him off. They take down the Sven EG. Now they look towards the middle. The silence is there onto Anna. Anna, he's down as well. That's 2 of the cores of OG out on the sidelines. Anna does not have buyback. Jerax is out as well. OG not going to suffer here on the back of this push. They can buy back on Jerax. They can buy back on Notel if necessary. They did manage to bring down 2, but hang on.
Guys, that was a Sunstrike in the fountain.
It certainly was, Gods.
Oh, beautiful. Sumail
Dire's middle barracks are under
punishing
attack.
S4. S4 was caught out, was made the TP, but did not survive in his fountain thanks to the Sunstrike. And well, with one buyback being used, EG say, all right. Oh no,
Oh, they
2
used
buybacks. Yeah.
both the Sven and the Mirana, both Jerax and Notel.
And realistically, that's 2 cores buying back at this point with Mirana's level of farm. That's a straightforward Roche for EG. They know that. They can just get this, win another fight. If you kill those cores, they're not going to have buyback for the upcoming engagements. And this is a tough fight to take. Invoker is absurdly farmed now, has gone very defensive in items, but this just means Sumail doesn't have to be afraid of anything in these team fights. If he gets gone on, he's got a large amount of armor, he's got the defensive yields, he's got a BKB as well. He's immune to the Ember damage, as well as a lot of the physical damage coming out from the Sven.
Yeah, EG kind of regained the control off that little bit of a slip away around 10 minutes ago. Back up to this comfortable 10k lead. And these next pushes are going to be pretty much the be-all end-all for OG to hold back, as they are sitting in that position without key buybacks available, as they've already been used. And let's see if EG can find those big kills. If they could take out Notel or Jerax, it could very well be at least a set of racks for sure. And we have the lead in. Arteezy moves in. Fortification will be used from OG. Arteezy doesn't have any plans on leaving anytime soon. The jump in from Anna, looking for the change, doesn't quite get it onto the hero. Arteezy's fine. His man's up. His Alacrity up. Stormhammer comes in, but he gets himself out of the vision, and he's not going to be hit by the stun. There's the root. Immediate time lapse. Wall's been dropped down. They'll look towards S4. S4 will get himself away. Well, I say that. No, he won't. Nether Strike into the Sunstrike. The double strike's coming through into play. Stormhammer from Notel. He can't quite finish them off. He does manage to find the Weaver. In fact, the Slight gets the Darkseer. Arrow timing. It's going to be perfect for Jerax. Arteezy down here. They're not done yet, OG. Can they get more? It looks like the rest of EG will manage to retreat. This time, EG, again, losing heroes, but they did manage to get the ejector this time around, bringing down the racks.
I feel like that's a pretty solid hold from OG, even with the racks loss. They're still in a bad position, don't get me wrong. Yeah. But I was not expecting them to get the kills that they did there. Felt like EG were just going to get a melee rack uncontested. OG take the Aegis out so they buy themselves some time, some breathing room to get another item or two up. Did cost them an Omni Knight buyback as well, so definitely don't get me wrong, this is still a very dominant EG position to be in. Very safe initial way to start that push, but just constant long-range harass, the constant blink double Starstorm, the constant Sleight of Fist harass, and it just whittles away at EG until the OG side decide, okay, we can actually go in now.
Oh, hello. Crit. Look at the setup onto the Sven. Fly will get in range for the false promise. Sumail looking to make his work, but the repel onto the Sven. He can't do anything. He can't even touch Notel. The cow gets chopped down. And that's going to be rolled back from Carnage. Rhythm blues out of there. Jerax jumps forward, looks for the arrow. He's actually going to find the connection. The crit's forced to the side. It might not matter. The Stormhammer flies through Universe. Vacuum wall onto 2. The Remnant away from Anna. Looking to E-Blade Fly there. Jerax trying to keep Fly alive, but the magic damage is too much. They will end up losing the Oracle.
Very aggressive from OG, showing some serious gumption despite the fact they're down a lane of racks and being pretty heavily outfarmed, and just losing an Oracle in doing so. You can really see the power of these defensive supports in the Omni Knight and the Oracle, enabling the Sven to just play super aggressive.
Oh, hello. Nice TP, mate. Jerax.
Whoa.
He's out. Oh, no, he's not. In fact, Jerax may pay for this, Sumail. He's not happy. You cancel my TP. I cancel your life.
I think he's okay.
So we'll take a bit of a burn to the head there.
Charge is on, but meanwhile, it's actually S4 getting put out the bigger kill. May lead to...
That's a minute without the Omni Knight.
They know he has no buyback because he used that last fight, so they're pinging and heading towards his top lane. This is where Jerax and Anna need to step up to clear this wave. Try and keep the creeps out of the base.
It's time to rock and roll here. Crit. Can he find those big silences? He's going to have Magnetize again in 10 seconds. Lincoln's his pop. Wheels follow through to setup, and Crit comes in with a rock just a fraction too late. Very hard to hit that combo.
Constant DM onto the Weaver.
Hey, this Tornado will work, especially if Crit gets the Jurassic kick. Oh, Crit! Just a little bit off again with the timing.
Managed to clear out the wave, and that's going to buy time for the Omni respawn. His next creep wave will be meeting around the Omni coming back, but still a good chunk of damage dealt already to this tier 3 tower.
Yeah, for sure. One more push through, and EG should be able to finish the tower off. TZ making sure that the farm continues. On top of that, BKB working towards finishing off the fully fledged Mionit. And EG actually looking to There's a rest back a little bit with the factors you mentioned, Omni Knight back in. You know, Notel and S4 were in position to fight if it did come to it, but EG just avoiding that situation for the time being.
Really liking this Linken's pickup. It just allows Ember to play the split push game when behind. Normally, a Spirit Breaker will cause you problems, and he is going for that Shadow Blade build, which means you can't Remnant. You won't see him coming to be able to Remnant away or Searing Chains to cancel that charge, so a Shadow Blade Spirit Breaker against Ember can be very miserable, so very smart. Linken's now he's got the Octarine. One of those games where Ember late game is going to be very brutal to push into, to fight against with the low cooldowns that he's going to have and that short cooldown of Searing Chains. 5-second duration, 5-second cooldown. BKB's really a must, and that's something that Arteezy's just picked up. He's got the 9-second BKB, Invoker's got his BKB. Looking like EG may just need one more Roche, one more Aegis to put the nail in the coffin. If they can safely get that and get another lane of racks, it'll be very difficult for OG to turn this game around.
Yeah, I mean, as we've seen, as you mentioned, you know, the Octarine, Ana is in a brilliant place to fight. If you know he can duck and dive in, it's going to be very hard to catch out, especially as long as Fly and S4 are able to get their spells out to help him.
Already level 25, the first to reach it, despite the rocky start. Decent recovery, and always a play who finds his farm and levels very well in the mid game, but it's come at the cost of his team having to make a lot of space for him.
All wands will break.
Notel needs to find a way to kind of keep up with his farm and levels. He's working on a Bloodthorn, has the Crystallis already, so hoping that he can just get a bit of extra burst damage from this. Even with the BKBs, the Bloodthorn works pretty nicely just for those guaranteed crits on that initial stunned hero. You can go on a BKB hero and still do some good bonus damage through the Bloodthorn.
EG very much so on just waiting for the Roche, as kind of anticipated.
Yep, makes sense.
No need to rush.
Yeah, they've taken that first lane of racks. They're the one in the driver's seat. 15,000 gold lead. OG really have their work cut out for them. Turning this game around is going to be relying on EG kind of overstepping, and that's exactly what EG are playing cautiously to avoid.
No, EG
No sorceries
just waiting.
avail.
Only sending Ana really out of the base.
He's the only one who really can move out. Notel can do a little bit with his Linken's here as well, so he's not as worried about being charged, but Ember's the big one.
That's going to be the slight extra bit of time there until the Roche respawn. Just over a minute to go. But he's just going to have to wait for that. I mean, definitely, I feel like as well at this point of the game, when Roche is back up, it's not necessarily going to be a free Roche. OG, they could come out and contest it.
Yeah, problem is right now the vision of theirs. They won't be able to easily know when Roche is back up. They won't really know where... they have no info to where EG is on the map unless EG is like pushed up to where that one observer is they have in that top lane. So very limited in terms of overall intel. They're going to show Ember bottom while they smoke up. This is a attempted play around the mid lane, it looks like. OG have spent so much time with 4 heroes missing that. I think they're hoping that this will catch EG by surprise, but doesn't seem to be amounting to all too much. Gets a couple aggressive wards down, which is kind of nice. Feels like OG haven't been playing with much vision, so that changes a little bit.
It doesn't look that OG will find the lead as of yet. EG still just waiting for that Roche. It's going to be there any second. OG are very close.
They've got the lanes pushed out pretty decent place, but the problem is OG themselves can't easily threaten Roche, and they put themselves in a disastrous position when fighting into a Darkseer. I don't really see a way for OG to go for Roche without having won a team fight first.
Yeah, especially Darkseer this stacked.
Taking the ward, looks like they know. He sidestepped the arrow, so bit of a telltale sign that there's a ward somewhere scouting that arrow come in, and they will de-ward a very important ward for EG. That's the secure Roche ward. Going aggressively. Can they burst someone? They'll need to land the arrow after the Stormbolt, I feel, to make this work.
There we go. Look at the chains onto the Invoker. Derek's trying to get into position for the arrow, but the self-fuels keeping Sumail okay. Crit jumps in with a good boulder smash onto the Ember Spirit. The backup there with a vacuum wall from Universe. Again, it's flashy, but the follow-up isn't really quite there. OG given a chance to back off. They'll look for a Nether Strike with a slider fist dodge and the blink out. Sumail, can they actually finish this one here? It's going to be the Sven focused on the sidelines. False promise comes through from flying. No Tail's going to be okay. OG still remaining strong. The charge for Azai is not going to be held back this fight. Finally managed to bring down Fly. They'll get S4 as well. They'll remnant back with Anna. On the side of it all, No Tail is being chased. He's trying to armlet Duke his way out of it. It's not going to work. They've lost 3.
A great cold snap prevented the GA from coming out. It got cancelled like 3 times consecutively.
Could Anna do it without
trying his
Jarax?
hardest.
He really is. He's come into the midst of it all. He will find 1 kill, but the 3 of them focusing down onto him. Can he escape this with 1 remnant? No, it's not enough. Straight into the clutches of EG. They pick up the kill. There'll be a buyback from Anna. They do have buybacks available, OG. We'll see how they choose to utilize them. The tier 4s getting beat down upon Jerax. Jumps forward, tries to nuke down Artur. Not quite enough magical damage.
Another Yule's dodge on the arrow. This Ember can't afford to die.
He really can't. Sunstrike isn't going to connect. And we do have both of the supports back up. Arteezy pops the BKB. Jerax getting dragged back here, and that's Mirana out. Does have buyback. So now BKBing and trying to flee from the base of OG. And he will make it out. So they do get themselves away. You are going to see a potential attempt to chase down. No, it's just going to be clearing out these side lanes. Immediately Anna's out.
That was his buyback. We'll buy the Mjolnir now that he's had to put his buyback on cooldown, but very good team fight from EG. Controlling the Omni Knight very well. Couldn't get the GA off, and OG were just kind of split. They had Sven to the north, they had Ember Spirit on another side. A scrappy split-up fight really favors like the Weaver especially. The Spirit Breaker did such a good job, never striking the Sven through the spell immunity. He couldn't really get good value out of the repel, and EG just completely disjointed OG there. Weren't able to really find a way to use their GA too effectively. They didn't get the best value out of the False Promise, and with OG still on the back foot, recovering, respawning, it'll be a easy Roche pick up for Arteezy.
Skadi complete as well. Universe has the Hex done.
Gonna go in, back to tier 3 tower casually.
And what are you going to do to stop it if you're OG? That is the question here. Go for the jump in. We'll get the stun, but again, Arteezy, he's going to be fine. And in fact, Crit comes in immediately looking for the back lines again. Universe with the vacuum walls, the deafening blast flies through from Sumail, bringing S4 down low. He's being disarmed, but he's certainly being armed. There's a tornado as well. He's going to be out for the count. The crit, the damage from Arteezy coming in. Double kill for the Weaver. Jerax is trying his best to keep them back with a Stormhammer. No Tail will come in for the sideline, but again, Arteezy just sitting there, pummeling into him. It's not going to be enough to bring him down, but the right click from Invoker will be. Sumail finds him. GG is called an EG. They're taking this series to a Game 5, gods.
Whew. It's happening. We're going late into the night here in Croatia. Very disciplined game from EG in the mid game, but more impressed by their relentless aggression in the early game. They just kept on throwing bodies at OG, and they were getting kill after kill. That was one of the most aggressive games I've seen from an EG squad in some time, and they just dominated that early game. They put so much pressure onto the lanes, found so many kills.
Yeah.
They end the game with almost a kill a minute.
Yeah, very, very impressive from EG. And OG as well, it just felt like with their draft, you know, they had this Oracle, this Omni Knight, that they were able to kind of keep people alive, but they weren't able to enable their core heroes to turn around and just do the damage that EG was doing to them back to them. It just wasn't quite there.
When you're getting these kills, the supports are getting farmed, so there's all these annoying utility items. There's the 4-staff on Universe, there's the Yules, there's all these hard to deal with items that the supports can get, and your supports meanwhile are just sitting there with arcane boots. That's all Fly ever really got this entire game. I mean, okay, the Mirana turned into a core, but the Omni just had his mech, you know, had his Greaves a bit later on, and it feels like EG just got a lot more out of every single hero in their lineup. You know, the Spirit Breaker was controlling the Sven through the repel with Nether Strike. The Earth Spirit was hitting these important... Earth Spirit didn't actually play that well this game. He missed a lot of silence and stuns out of the Yules, but he also hit a decent number. So, yeah, he missed quite a few. There's a lot you can point to, but the game could have maybe been ended sooner if he played a perfect game. But it was the fact that there's no Spirit doing what he does, and on the OG side, it's like, well, they just have a bunch of heroes that can try and save and keep people alive, but they never really threatened EG. This Invoker just ran rampant, and even more so, Artesia on the Weaver was just unstoppable.
The Weaver pick was perfect. You know, it kind of came towards the end, and 15-3-22 from the laning till the ending. RTZ finding all the place to just rip OG apart. But ladies and gentlemen, we are indeed now going to this best of 5, Game 5 deciding match between EG and OG to see who takes away the championship title here at the G2A.com Dota Pit Season 5 LAN Finals. I'm Modu Pixel, this was Gods. We'll be joining you back very shortly for that last and final game. We'll see you in a minute.
Gaming Bets, online betting for every esports fan. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and Overwatch, StarCraft 2, the choice is yours. Express bets for multiple matches or live bets on the game you are watching right now. Know your way around Dota 2, make a prediction for picks and bans.
Playing CSGO, guess the number of rounds in a certain match.
Daily quests for all participants and all the best choice of payment systems. More than 600,000 users have already made their bets on the spectacular matches since 2011. EGB.com. You know for sure who's gonna win.